What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video I am building something a little bit different. This is a fixer-upper in Oasis Springs. So I'm building this fixer-upper for a collab. I'm doing a collaboration with my 6 Sims on Twitter, and her name is Michaela Sims here on YouTube. She DM'd me if I wanted to do a collab with her, and she came up with this very fun idea, or I think it's been done before, but she suggested that we did this sort of collab where we build each other a fixer-upper, and we also create a family that bought the fixer-upper and the storyline to go with it, and we set a budget for the renovation as well. So that's what I'm doing in this video. I am building a fixer-upper for Michaela Sims to renovate in her video, and I don't know, I thought I might as well just make a speed build out of the process of me building the actual fixer-upper because it's just fun and something different, and I recorded it anyway, so I was like, you know what, I might as well just make a speed build out of it. So that's what I'm doing for today's video, and I had so much fun with this. Immediately when Michaela Sims, when she asked me for this collab and she explained what her idea was, I thought it was so much fun, and I immediately had this plan or this idea in my mind that I wanted to build something mid-century. So that's what I'm doing. I'm building this 1950s fixer-upper, and I don't know, I just think it's so much fun. I was trying to build something that just looks like it was built somewhere in the 1940s or the beginning of the 1950s maybe, and it was bought by a family in the 1950s as well, and then maybe it was abandoned like in the early 1960s or maybe the early 1970s, I don't really know, but it's abandoned somewhere in that time period, and no one ever really looked at the house ever again. It's a mess. So that's what I tried to achieve for this house, and I don't know, I just had so much fun with it, especially with the exterior. And then I also did the interior, obviously, and I actually left it quite furnished. Well, I wouldn't say fully furnished, but it's almost fully furnished. However, it's a mess in there, so everything is just, I don't know how to explain it. You'll see it when we move on to the interior, but it's a mess inside. And the color scheme inside is also very overpowering. Like it's not pretty. It's not an actual like pretty mid-century modern house. No, this house is a mess. It's furnished in the 1950s and not in the good way. Like, when you furnish a house and you get inspired by like mid-century modern pieces or mid-century modern furniture style these days, it's a lot different and it's actually very pretty. But this house just came straight out of the 1950s, and the furniture inside is not pretty. The color scheme is ridiculous. You can definitely see that the family that used to live here was a very colorful family. I would say they loved their colors on the for the interior of their house, and as well as the exterior. Actually, you can see that they have this bright green front door, and then I tried to mimic a garage door that I painted yellow, and it's just the colors don't really match. It kind of looks crazy, and the exterior of the house for the rest is very dark brown and a little bit gross looking. So the house could definitely use a paint job on the exterior as well. And once we move on to the interior, you'll definitely see that the colors are ridiculous. They don't match, they're not pretty, they look ridiculous. The bathroom downstairs is avocado green and it's very ugly. I mean, an avocado green bathroom can be really fun if you do it well, but this was not done well. This is just 1950s style, not pretty. Just, you can definitely see that the family back then, they tried, but it didn't turn out so well. It's just too much of everything, and the kitchen is hideous as well. And I don't know, I just had so much fun making this house as colorful and ugly as possible. And that's what I did. And I think I succeeded. And it was just such a fun change of pace. It was so much fun to do. It turned out ridiculous and I love it so much. And for the exterior, we're still on the exterior, as you can see. I was having so much fun with the landscaping because I did want it to be very overgrown, very lush, not taken care of, because like I said, what I was thinking is this house was abandoned somewhere in the 1960s, maybe the beginning of the 1970s, but I was thinking 1960s, and no one ever looked at it ever since. I was thinking that the family that lived here, they disappeared. No one really knows what happened to the family. They either moved all of a sudden or they disappeared and no one really knows why. And it's also weird because the house is still fully furnished. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And you can definitely tell that people have been inside the house because the furniture is like all over the place and not where it's supposed to be, and stuff like that. So I was thinking that maybe the police back then, they tried to investigate what happened to the family because they're missing. So they tried to investigate the house, but they couldn't find anything. So yeah, the case closed and nothing ever really happened to the house ever again. There was no other family around that they could contact about the house or about the family whatsoever. It was just, it's a really weird, it was just really weird. Like, no one knows what happened. And now the house is it's still here these days. And so I was thinking that finally a family from San Myshuno, they decided to buy the house and fix it. So like I said, for the collab that I'm doing with Michaela Sims, we actually also created the families and created a sim, and we wrote up this whole like storyline to go with the build. And I might as well just read it to you because this house is up on the gallery. And if you also want to give it a try, if you want to try and renovate it, just feel free to do so. I think that'd be so much fun. And you could also use this storyline that I came up with. So I do have it here on my phone. It's quite long, but I guess I can just read it to you guys if you're interested at all. Yeah, here we go. The Simmons family is ready for a change. Cornelius and Sarah Simmons decided to finally exchange their family apartment in San Myshuno for a fixer-upper in Oasis Springs. Born and raised in the city, neither Cornelius nor Sarah ever really had the urge to move away from city life. But now that their two children, Brody and Stella, are growing up and still have to share a bedroom, which at this point leads to ongoing fights between the siblings every single day, they decided that they're in need of more space, preferably a house with a backyard. Cornelius is a real environment enthusiast, which is actually one of the reasons why he wanted to move out of the city. All the pollution, it's just not for him anymore. It's his dream to live in an eco-friendly house. He even decided to quit his business career and finally gave in to his dream of becoming a freelance gardener. He dreams of one day even having his own little greenhouse. So that's also a thing. Like, in this storyline, I try to include little hints about the family that Michaela can use for the renovation. For example, Cornelius, like I just said, he is all about eco-friendly. He is all about gardening. So maybe she can include something for him in the renovation as well. Then Sarah, his wife. Sarah definitely needed some convincing to agree with buying a house out of the city, but she's very excited about it now. Her career as a chef doesn't necessarily tie her down to one restaurant. In fact, she has already been given very generous job offers by restaurants located in Oasis Springs. Stella is a stubborn teenager. There's just no other way to put it. She hates moving to Oasis Springs because that means that she has to go to a new high school and make new friends. Her parents keep telling her that everything will be alright, but for now, she just hates it. At least, she finally gets her own bedroom so that her brother will leave her alone, and she has a place to put her instruments. So I was thinking that Stella, the teenage daughter, she's very much into music, so that's also a little hint from Michaela. Maybe she can do something with that. And like I explained in the beginning of the storyline, Stella and Brody, the two kids, they used to have to share a bedroom in their apartment, and they don't have to share a bedroom anymore in this house, except there are only 2 bedrooms in the house as it's built right now. So the house definitely needs a renovation, because they do need an extra bedroom. So I thought that that would be really fun for Michaela to take into consideration. But moving on, Brody can't wait to move to an actual house with a backyard. That means room to play. He absolutely loves playing outside, and maybe, just maybe, he will finally get a puppy for his birthday now that they have the space for it. So maybe she could include something for a dog. I mean, obviously it's up to her, but I tried to, I don't know, talk about the personalities as much as possible, and I'll give them like a couple of character traits or things that they love or things that they're into that could maybe help you decorate the place. So that's what I tried to do. Given the fact that Oasis Springs is quite a long way from San Myshuno, Cornelius and Sarah bought the house based on the real estate agent's photos. Not sure if that was the best idea. It looks like the photos were actually not as recent as land grab real estate made it seem. And why is there still furniture inside? Sarah's not complaining though. She would love to reuse a few of those vintage items. Anyway, Cornelius is convinced that they can turn this fixer-upper into their dream house. They love the mid-century modern character of the house. The house also has a very spacious garage, which they would love to convert somehow to expand the house, because they do need an extra bedroom somewhere. And did I already mention the pool? I mean, don't try swimming in it right now, but it surely can be fixed. The family has a starter budget of 13,000 simoleons for the renovation, but maybe some of those old furniture items are still worth a little bit of cash. So yeah, that's what I wrote up for the storyline of the house and for like kind of hidden little instructions for the renovation as well. So like I just read, Sarah, the mom, she is very much into mid-century modern style, which is also why she loves the house. And she would love, like I just said, to reuse a couple of those items. Definitely not all of them, but maybe Michaela can try and see if she could, I don't know, fix the kitchen a little bit, like paint the kitchen counters maybe, or maybe the dresser that I put in the entryway or the bookcase. I don't really know, but I was thinking that it would be cool to actually embrace the style of this house, the mid-century style, and try and modernize it a little bit and make it look prettier. I don't know. That's just kind of the thing that I had in mind for the family, for the storyline. Obviously, it's up to Michaela. She can do whatever she wants. And I can't wait to see what she does with it. I think we're uploading our renovations somewhere next week or somewhere in the first week of April. But just make sure to check back. We will upload on the same day. So just make sure to subscribe to Michaela Sims here on YouTube if you want to see what she does with this fixer-upper and how she renovates it. I, for one, am so excited to see what she does with it. I love this collab. I think it's so much fun. And she also built me something very fun. She built me this amazing fixer-upper in Solani. So yeah, that's the renovation that I will be doing. And I will talk about the whole storyline and the family that she came up with for me, obviously, for that house. But yeah, like I said, if you want to see what Michaela Sims does with this house, make sure to subscribe to her channel and yeah, watch the video once it comes out. But yeah, there is that for the storyline for the family. And as you can see, the interior is also slowly coming together, and as you can probably tell, it's a mess. It looks ridiculous in here. The colors don't match. The colors look very ugly together. The house does have this very spacious garage that, yeah, the family probably doesn't really need. So I thought that the garage would be the perfect, room to kind of convert into an extra bedroom, maybe an extra bathroom. Maybe you could use half the garage for a bedroom and then the other half for an office, for example, because there is no office in this house at all, which the family that buys the house, the Simmons family, they don't really need an office because Cornelius is in the gardening career or not in the career, he's a freelance gardener. And then the mom, Sarah, she is a chef, so they don't really need an office space, but maybe for the teen Stella, maybe she could use an office or to do her homework, or Brody, the kid. I don't know. That's just the kinds of things that you can think about if you decide to try and do this renovation. And maybe after the collab is done, I will try and renovate this house. If by then you're still into it, I don't really know. But I think that it would be fun to maybe renovate this house myself, maybe for a different family, or maybe just not for a particular family, but I just want to try and make it look pretty. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, for now, this is the fixer-upper, and this kid's bedroom that I decorated, I thought was so fun to do, because I don't think I have ever used that wallpaper with the little boats on it, and I think that it screams mid-century. I don't know why, I could be wrong, but for some reason to me, it goes hand in hand with the 1950s. I don't know what it is, but it's just the colors, I guess, and the pattern on it, on the wallpaper, it screams 1950s to me, and I don't know why, but I thought it was perfect, so I used it in the kids' bedroom. And here you can see this is the full bathroom upstairs. This is the only full bathroom in the house. The other one downstairs, the avocado green one, is a half bath, and this one is a full bath. And this one is also very, very ugly. It has all kinds of colors going on, and it's very mismatched and just extremely ugly. But yeah, that's about it for the speed build. So let's hop on into the game and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the house in the game. It looks gross. There are plants everywhere. It's very overgrown. The mailbox is probably full, so the mail is just on the ground right there. When we move on to the backyard, you can see that there is a very disgusting pool, but definitely fixable. There is just some trash everywhere, which doesn't really make sense. Why is it there? There are probably like some teenagers that think it's fun to come here at night and hang out in the backyard because it's kind of spooky and scary. And yeah, I thought that would be a fun idea. Then for the interior of the house, it's a mess. It's also awkwardly cramped in here. Like the floor plan doesn't make too much sense. It's definitely very cramped. I, for one, would definitely get rid of this awkward little hallway right here so that you have a little bit of extra space for a dining table or whatever. But you can definitely see that there are some pieces in here that would be fun to reuse. For example, this dresser or this chair. I don't really know. I thought that it would be fun to actually try and reuse a couple of those vintage items. But here you can see this is the sunken living room area, which is very mid-century. And over here we have the very ugly green kitchen. And in here it's a mess as well. And it's very outdated and it definitely needs a renovation. Then over here on this side, we have the ugliest bathroom in the world. It's located right here. And here we have the garage as well, which is a step down. And yeah, it's just very gross in here, but you could definitely try and renovate it and make it pretty again. And then upstairs we have these two bedrooms and a bathroom in between. It kind of speaks for itself. It's extremely ugly in here. I hate this bedroom. I think it's disgusting. I hate that brown carpet with the stains on it. I think it's from City Living if I'm not mistaken, and it's just gross. And over here we have the kids' bedroom with the ugliest wallpaper in the world that, because it's so ugly, I also really like it. It's so ugly that it's cute in my opinion. So yeah, maybe I'll actually try and use this wallpaper for real, like for an accent wall in a kid's room or something. And yeah, then this is that bathroom that's probably like leaking everywhere, and it's ridiculously ugly. But that's all for this fixer-upper. So this 1950s fixer-upper is up on the gallery and it comes in at 48,962 simoleons. So yeah, it's pretty expensive, but for the collab, we actually decided that the cost of the house doesn't really matter. You can just place it down and then move your family in and then give them a set budget to do the renovation. So if you want to try and do this renovation yourself, you can definitely do that. Abandoned somewhere in the 1950s, this house is very characteristic. Why is the house pretty much fully furnished? What happened to the people that lived here? No one knows, but Landgrab Real Estate sold the house to the Simmons family, Sarah and Cornelius, their moody teenage daughter Stella, and their energetic 8-year-old son Brody. With a budget of 13,000 simoleons, they hope to turn this into their dream family home. They would love an extra bedroom somewhere. So that's a little piece of text that I wrote. So if you want to do this renovation yourself, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below, and also let me know what your gallery idea is so that I can look it up. I think that would be so much fun. So that's actually it for this renovation. If you're curious to see what Michaela Sims does with this Fixer Upper, make sure to check out her channel. I'll make sure to link her channel and her Twitter and her Instagram in the description box down below. So you can definitely go ahead and download this build off the gallery if you want to. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims as well. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, make sure to click that little bell icon and you should be fine. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next build. Bye!